I wanted to give you guys an update about the ticket sales for the event at Corning next year. So the Flower and Flame event is happening next May, and tickets went live last month? Yeah, what month are we in now? Yeah, I think it was last month. There is so much to do, but that's a panic for another day. There were the two different ticket tier options. So there was the $250 kind of all-inclusive kind of version that had the meet and greet and the extra goodies in the tote bag and VIP seating and everything else. I can't quite believe that people are going to be spending that much money to come and see me. Like, it blows my mind a little bit when I actually sit back and think about it, that, you know, this is the same kind of prices that like Coldplay are selling their tickets for, which is wild, and makes me very like terrified inside and gives me a lot of like imposter syndrome. It's also like the most validating and like emotional thing to even sit and think about it for too long, that you guys would actually want to spend that money and come and see me and spend that time with me. It's just wild. I can't believe we've sold over half of those already. That's crazy, and so many of them went so quickly at the start. So I think kind of with the next few marketing pushes for like Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day and Christmas and things like that, hopefully we'll get the last ones of those sold off too. We've also got kind of a more kind of general entry level ticket. I wanted to make the event as affordable and accessible to everyone as possible, really. That one is kind of the show, the demo, getting to see the collection, buy from the collection, that kind of thing, without all the kind of extra frills, I guess. Yes, it's important to say that we are making like no money off the ticket sale. It genuinely blew my mind how expensive these events are to put on. Like, I'm not in that kind of corporate world at all, so I had no idea the costings to these things. But for a museum of that scale and for an event of this size with so many of you coming, it is just wild how expensive it is. And also, like, it was really important to pump as much of that money straight back into like your experience of it. So that's why I've got the goodie bags and things like that, and all the extra little touches to hopefully make it like an incredible day for you all. But yeah, just so I didn't want you to think that I was like making heaps of money off of all of you guys coming to see me, because I'm not. I'm just so grateful that you are wanting to come and see me and experience it all with me. I best go and sort myself out, get myself ready, because we are off to Oxford tomorrow for the weekend. So it's our anniversary weekend. We've been married for 5 years now. Also blows my mind. I feel like I've said that a lot today. But we're going to Oxford for the weekend for a bit of a mooch about, stay at a nice hotel, nice dinner, just to spend some quality time together. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Wow, the orchid family is bigger than the daisy family. Who knew?
So I thought it was that time for a floristry tour. So this is my beautiful floristry. It's a 17th century sheep shed, and when we first moved in it was pretty much derelict, and it was just a wooden black door here, and we had absolutely no idea how big it was going to be inside or what we'd find. But my favourite bit is this little flower arch that I made. I had every intention of changing this for every season, but I've been here 2.5 years now and it's never changed. But maybe one day I'll get around to it. Right, let's get inside. So here she is, my baby. This is our like full-on working side with the kilns and the torch, and then I've got my big glass supply at the back, which also feeds into this glass supply. My little window, we've got all my work over there, kind of computer station, big desk for packing up orders, and then my sliding ladder, which gives me this brilliant storage space over here. popped in to make use of these beautiful high ceilings. Okay, so this side is like the power side, mainly because that's the area that, this is my side, so mostly a mess. But I have my two kilns, so I've got this one which is my old faithful Paragon, and then this one which is my new Kiln Care kiln. Kiln Care kiln is a bit of a tongue twister, and I had it colour matched to my door because very demure, very mindful, you know. This one unfortunately is not colour matched, but when it breaks I will replace it with another Kiln Care one. And then I have my torch here, and this is where I am sat all the time making orders. All the videos you see will be from this base. I've got my swizzle chair, which is like a kind of saddle seat kind of thing. Apparently it's supposed to be comfier and better for your hips. My little window with all the ivy growing on it. It's really cute in the spring because the little birdies come and kind of like nest in there and you can watch them. Not so cute in the autumn when the massive spiders are walking around and you can see them on the other side of the glass. Yeah, that's kind of it for this side. A little bit of artwork, Ellie Mae designs for those prints, and Basil and Ford for this one. The end. The really important thing about working in lamp work is ventilation and extraction, and I kind of learnt that the hard way. I don't know if we've ever told the story of my arsenic poisoning incident, but maybe that's something for another video. But extraction and ventilation is very, very, very important when working with glass. I've got a big extractor fan, but this is my kind of saviour, which is an extractor ventilation system that pans up to here. So these tubes will suck, they're like massive kind of Hoover nozzles. This is all very technical, I know. And this sucks up all the nasties and all of the spare bits of glass that kind of go down the tubes, and then they come under here and into this system. And then I've got filters on filters on filters on filters in here that filter for all different things, different size particles, different contaminants, and then I change these up regularly. Some of them are monthly, some of them are like 3 times a year, 4 times a year, to make sure that it is still capturing all of the nastiness, and it goes in here rather than in here. So this is the unit where you change all of the filters from. So it just has 2 simple little clips on the outside, and then once a month I change the top filter, so it's a little bit fiddly. But this kind of comes up here, and can you see there all of this stuff? That's not hair, that's like really fine bits of glass, and otherwise all of that kind of stuff, it literally looks like hair but it's not, it's glass. That otherwise would go up your nose, in your lungs, in your feet. I tend to drop it on the floor and get it in my feet. So this is the top filter. There we go. And I'm going to change this one out today. This is the one that changes most regularly. Can you see all of that stuff in the air that otherwise would be going in my lungs? This is normally white, and you can see all the gunk that comes through that. So we will dispose of that nicely and then pop a new one in, and then we've got other filters lower down that will be changed later in the year. So this is how it should look. This is a fresh one compared to that, which is a used one. I'm actually changing this sooner than I'm supposed to as well. I think they say every 6 weeks. I do every 4 weeks, but this is 3 weeks, I think, really, that I'm changing this. So yeah, they get pretty nasty, but I am at the torch a lot. So simply just lay that in there and it velcros on to the edges. I know people use these when they're doing kind of soldering, or I've seen nail technicians use them as well to try and get rid of all the nasty fumes and stuff from when they're doing like gels and acrylics. And then this just pops back on like that, and you do the little clips on the, there we go, like that. Here is where all the kind of important, expensive, complicated stuff is. So we've got torch in the middle, kilns each side, so that when I'm working I can whack them in and reach both sides. So I tend to use this one first. So this one is my Kiln Care one. It's newer. I got it last Christmas as a little Christmas present from the business. It's a British company. Kiln Care have been really, really good to me so far and been really helpful with kind of any issues. It's got like a little no control panel on the actual kiln, but I've got this handheld control down here. And the wonderful thing, my favourite thing about this kiln, not only that it's, you know, in my branded colours, however, it turns on in 15 minutes, which compared to the other one, which takes an hour and a half to heat up, is an absolute godsend, because I am not an organised enough person to make sure it's on an hour and a half before I need it. It used to get me in a lot of trouble, so this one has kind of saved my life in that sense, and is very good. Also, Paragon's customer service, so this one's Paragon, this is a company in Texas. Their customer service is not the best. I've always had Paragon. Paragon's one of the kind of leading brands for kilns. I had a smaller one before, sold that. I've got 2 of these big ones. One of them's a little bit ropey, so that's kind of in storage as my absolute backup. But yeah, their customer service has been pretty dire, which is why I moved over to the British company of Kiln Care, who, you know, I can drive it to them and get help if I need to, which is super helpful compared to the one in Texas. So we popped this level into the workshop as well, so that we would have a bit of space for storage, because whilst this place is great, we do have a lot of things we need to store. So all of the vases, all of the made up boxes, they're so bulky. So this is our space for our vase storage. We also do have a storage unit in one of those like lock up and leave kind of places that has a hell of a lot more vases in. But I love that we've got a little like slidey ladder, which not only is very fun, but it's very useful for when you're like, if you're doing the dispatch, whatever, you can just shove it out this way, or whatever you're doing, you can get it out of the way. And I'm so grateful we put this in, because I genuinely don't know where we'd put all of this stuff. There just wouldn't be room in here otherwise. So I kind of showed you the glass before when I got the delivery, but this is where I keep all of my glass as it comes in. So it comes in these super long lengths when I get it direct from the wholesaler, and then I chop it down using the little clips, and then it goes into this absolute mess in the corner that I kind of use day to day, which does need a sort out. However, that's a job for another day / week / month. And then I have all of my wire here as well, so all cut to the different lengths that I use to suit the vases that I use the most often, and all the flowers are made directly onto those, and it just saves me having to cut them once the flower's made, because that can cause issues with the glass strength. So this is my torch, could not live without this. This is the Bethlehem Star. I used to have the Nortal Minor burner, but now have the Bethlehem Star. There are so many different Bethlehem torches, and some of them look like absolute rocket ships, but they do different types of glasswork, I guess. So you've got like the hot glass stuff, which is the really big stuff, and then you've got kind of soft glass lamp work that I do, but you can do borosilicate glass, which is a similar process, but you can make bigger stuff. So this torch can go hot enough to do that as well, which is why I bought it, so that I can kind of transition between the two if and when that becomes an option. But you've got 2 tubes. So this one is the oxygen, which you control by this green knob here. That comes through from the oxygen concentrators under there. So those 2 old units there are oxygen concentrators. They just kind of pump it in and push it through here to make the torch burn hotter and faster. And then this one is the gas, which you control from this red one. And that just feeds through to a propane tank, which is under the desk over there. Nothing exciting or glamorous with either of those, unfortunately. And then I just have this, I think it's called a bench buddy. It was a bit of a kind of DIY option that I got from one of the glass suppliers, and it's just helpful to kind of rest your elbows on whilst you're working. Some people use them like this, but I find they really get in my way. And then I just put tiles down because, as you can see, I burn a lot of things, and the workbench is wooden. I used to have a metal workbench, but I found it made everything really cold in the winter. So I just have the tiles down to catch some of that debris and burns. So these are some of my kind of old faithful tools. There's not many really that you need / that I use. So I've got these, which are your clackers, I think they're called. That helps to light the torch. Another really important one that I have is these mashers, and also mini mashers, which basically do the same thing. They just flatten the glass slightly when you're making kind of petal shapes and things like that. These are probably my most used tools. So they're just kind of long nose tweezers essentially, a bit longer so that your hands don't get too hot if you're using little ones, and they're stronger material so that they can withstand being by the flame. This is a Marva. I've had this for forever, and it really needs like recoating. I bought the stuff to recoat it probably about a year ago and haven't got round to it because I'm so worried I'll take it off and it'll not go back together nicely, and then I won't be able to use it because I use this a lot. And then I guess the most important thing are glasses. So these are Diddy's, and the blue glass helps to kind of take the brightness out of the flame when you're working in it. It just helps to kind of protect your eyes from the glare of it. I've had these forever, and they broke literally at least 3 years ago, because it was when we were in the old house, and I didn't have time or the money at that point to buy a new pair. So I just chopped one of my wires down to a little splint and wrapped it in tape, and it's been like that for 3 years, and I still haven't replaced them. In fact, I actually bought a replacement pair and then sent them back because these are just my old faithfuls, and I feel like they bring me luck. I feel like I have to keep these. Okay, apologies if you can hear the washing machine going in the background, but I'm just setting up a little distraction game for Jasmine. She's still pretty young, you know, she's 1.5 years, I think now, so I guess that still classes as a puppy. Oh, this bag's hard to open. So she needs a lot of distraction and a lot of activities, so I tend to do like a little hide and seek thing in here, with some treats for when she kind of needs just a bit of like mental stimulation, / when I need a break, because once she's done that, she's normally pretty sleepy. I am going to hide these around here, and then let her in. She already knows what's going on because she's literally just stood at the door there staring at me whilst I do this. So let's get these hidden away. I'm going to let her in now, and she knows exactly what's going on, so I'm sure she'll be straight on it trying to find them. So you know how we always have the bloopers at the end of these videos of me looking stupid? I wish I had a camera on Andrew, because he has just dropped the microphone on himself twice whilst trying to set up for this shot.
The microphone fell off. I didn't drop the microphone.
It fell off on his face. I was coming on here to tell you some exciting news because, so long story short, I have always wanted to try boro glass work. So it's kind of a different, slightly different type of lampwork. They use a different type of glass and it's like super, super hot. Like the flame is huge. I'd need like stronger equipment than what I've got, but it would mean I could make like bigger, more complicated kind of things. To be honest, I don't really know a whole heap about it. I just see the stuff that they make and it's like huge. Somehow they kind of make it in parts, I think, so it doesn't all have to be hot at the same time, which just means you can make so much bigger stuff. essentially. And I have been desperate to give it a try for so long, and I've been far too scared to try it on my own. So I've been looking for a workshop, but there just really isn't anywhere in the UK that offers it at all. But I found a place in Berlin. So it's at the Berlin Flame Working Studio. So we have just booked a trip to Berlin, which, like, I'm so excited. It's been on my list for forever to take a class like this. So getting to actually do it is amazing. And then not only that, but we're doing it just before Christmas. So we get to go whilst the Christmas markets are still on, and I love a Christmas market. Last time I went to Germany for a Christmas market, Andrew ate peanuts and he's allergic, and he had a bit of a bad reaction. So we didn't get to fully immerse ourselves in the Christmas spirit, really, unfortunately. But hopefully this time will be a bit better. But yeah, I'm just so excited, and it's really not that long now to wait at all. Like, it's going to roll around so quickly. I feel like, you know, the festive period is always super busy. So it's a nice little kind of business Christmas present to myself. Well, that pretty much brings us to an end for this video. I feel like we are fully like triple jumping into autumn now. And I am going to go for a little wander around the village because all the leaves are starting to change and it's just looking pretty gorgeous out there, to be honest. And I feel like that's really showing my age, because I think when I was, you know, in my 20s and a teenager, I definitely wouldn't have been this excited about all the different seasons. And now I am that kind of typical 30-year-old that gets excited when the seasons change. I do say every single season is my favourite, and I do say every single season is my favourite to design for, but autumn right now definitely is. However, that may change come spring. I have got a little thing to share with you next week, so I may be being silly, I'm not sure. I'm going to give them a try and see how they go. But I bought one of the pairs of the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. My thinking is, so if you've not seen these before, they have like little cameras on and they can like film your POV. I'm thinking they'd make some really good angles for content when I'm working here. But also I'm thinking they'd be really awesome for the amphitheatre show at Corning next year. So I'm going to spend this week getting these all set up, and because like they're literally, I've barely even taken them out of the case, they're still in all their like dust sleeves or whatever they're called. I'm going to spend this week getting these set up, figuring out all the different features and settings and all the things I can do with them, and then I will give you a rundown on them next week. So if you are considering buying these, I'll have a review for you. And if not, if you're just interested in how they work and what kind of angles we can get, because that's what I'm excited about, to see how good we can make it look. I'm figuring if I put them on and then put these over the top, you guys will be able to see how I see the flame, because I know when it's on the videos it's going to be completely different to how I see it through these lenses. So we'll see if that works. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and if you have, then please like and subscribe, and I'll have another video for you very, very soon. Bye! Clarendon Quadrangle.
Divinity School. Quiet, please.
Give it a thumbs up. Love it. Do the white.